Hi, I'm Amy, and this is another edition of Easing Into Your Body. This is a full body workout with a little more of an emphasis on the core. So let's start with a warm up. If you want to grab your pole or a band, and we'll do some gentle rotations, just going back as far as your body will go and your shoulders will allow. Try to keep your weight in your heels as you do this and your ribs locked down. So as you start to open up, you might find you can go back a little bit farther in your rotation. Just take it nice and easy. Try not to move or force your way through any clicks or clunks. Just go where you can go today. Okay, let's go up to the top. We'll go side to side. And remember, you don't want to go into your end ranges right away. Just go maybe 3/4 of the way that you think you can go. See how that feels, and then start to go a little deeper into your end ranges of motion, whatever that is for you. And then let's do a few rotations, keeping the heels on the ground. Top of the head's reaching high. All right, let's take our pole and just step back, lightly hanging on, and just try to keep the low back curve in place, or a nice flat back, weight in the heel, stick that tailbone out way behind you, and just feel that nice stretch along the side of the ribs, through the shoulders. Kind of wiggle a little bit side to side. If you don't have a pole, just use the back of a chair. Maybe bend one knee and straighten the other. All right, let's get a little bit for the ankles. So tops of the feet on the ground, and then press into the toes. Tops of the feet, wiggle side to side, press into the toes, wiggle side to side. Other foot, top of the foot, press into the toes, press into the top of the foot, wiggle side to side, and then press into the toes and wiggle side to side. Okay, we're going to go down onto the mat and do what is lovingly called the dead bug. And we'll start the dead bug without any weights. If you want to add weights, you can. I'm going to grab just my 5-pound weight here, but you do what's right for you. 5 is more than enough. Okay, we'll go on the back. The important part with the dead bug is that you maintain a little bit of your low back curve. So you can tuck your hands under there just to feel that. And when you lift your knees to about 90 degrees, make sure your back is not pressing into your hands. If you have trouble maintaining that curve, then tuck something under there, like a little rolled up bath towel or something, just to remind you not to let that go. You want to teach your core to be strong in your spine's most natural, normal position, because that's where it will be the strongest. Okay, so if it's difficult just to hold your knees up here and stay in place, then just practice breathing and holding that in place. And then notice if you can let the feet come down without letting the back or the core or anything change in your back, and come back up. If 2 at the same time is difficult, then 1 at a time, toe touch down. And if you're just beginning on your core, this is plenty. If you want to add holding your arms straight up with or without a weight, that just gives you a little extra something. And just try to keep your breathing normal and just continue with that up and down motion. And again, if you want to try both at the same time, a little more difficult. Again, your focus is on maintaining the low back curve. All right, now we're going to turn onto our stomachs into the Superwoman pose. So finding your feet together, like you're gently squeezing your feet and your knees and your thighs together, and then the arms out, and the arms can be touching or not touching, and then we lift. And down, and lift, and down, and lift, down, lift, down. Let's go one more time. Let's hold for a couple breaths. And down. All right, let's go back to a couple more dead bugs. This time, if you want to add in your arms, we can add in the arms. I'm not going to use a weight for this, but touch down and bring the arms back, and then everything comes straight back up. Okay, let's give opposites a try. So left foot touches down, right arm, come back up, other side, come back up, and just keep switching. Takes a little coordination and cognitive attention. All right, and then let's go onto our tummies for another Superwoman. Okay, zip it up and lift and down. And let's do about 6 of these and we'll hold the last one. And hold your last one for a couple breaths. All right, let us come back up to standing. We're going to do the single leg deadlift. We're going to do it without any weights. Might be important to either have your stick or a wall or a chair to hold on to. I'm gonna have my left leg forward and the stick in my left hand because my right hand's gonna do the reaching. Okay, so a soft knee, and then think about a lot of stability in your hip because your whole body is kind of gonna be pivoting on that hip. And you can keep the back toe touching down. The right hand is just going to slide down, maintain that core so there's no change in how the spine is positioned. It's a big old hinge right from the hip. Just slide down the leg as far as you can comfortably go. Clearly losing my balance a little here as I try this. Okay, so what I'm going to do if I'm losing my balance, and what I'm going to suggest you do too, is rather than just the tip of the toe touching down, come down until you feel the ball of your foot. And that way you can focus on stability and strength. When your brain detects more stability, you're going to have a better experience, and you're teaching your body to be stable when you're reaching down to lift something. All right, let's go to the other side. So right foot forward, Gonna toe touch back, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go down right on the ball of my foot. Okay, left hand is gonna slide down the right leg. Come back up again. Spine doesn't move. Don't let that low back curve round out. Engage the core as you're going down and as you're coming back up. I'm not having to rely a whole lot on my pole, but I am glad it's there. Use a chair or the wall if you need to. All right, now we're gonna go into a squat. I'm gonna use my pole just to, we're gonna add a reach at the end. So we're gonna come down into our squat as low as feels comfortable, and then we're gonna reach up at the top. Really stick the tailbone out behind you as you go down into your squat. Push up through the heels, reach high, try not to let the ribs pop out, keep the ribs locked down. And then if you can go teeny bit lower into your squat. And you can go a little bit slower. Don't have to go as deep as I'm going. As many repetitions as feels good to you. I am not even counting. All right, we'll do a couple more and then we'll go back to our one leg deadlifts. Okay, gonna put it back in my left hand, left foot forward, right foot back. I'm gonna go ahead and go right on the ball of my foot. Right hand's gonna slide down the leg, thinking about a pivot on that hip joint. Finding stability the whole way. That's far more important than how far you reach or the number of repetitions that you do. Okay, right foot forward. Left hand slides down, pivoting on the right hip. Spine stays still. All right, let's go back to a few more squats. Push back, weight in the heels, push up through the heels, reach high. Let's go slow on the way down. Gently punch it up. Slow on the way down. Gently punch it up. All right, now you'll need your band. And I would use a lighter one if you have a lighter one. And then we're going to stand up nice and tall, and then we're going to press up. Thumbs should be pointing up or towards you. I'm not going to do a lot of these because this is my firmest band. You want to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Weight in the heels. And just reach up as far as feels comfortable with the band that you have. One more is good. Then we're going to go into a wall push-up. So in a wall push-up, keep the elbows in and then keep the hands fairly low. I'm going to come up on my balls of my feet and then just push back. The farther away your feet are from the wall, the more challenging it will be. Step away a little bit farther. Okay, make sure the elbows almost graze the rib cage as you come down. And again, trying to keep the no change anywhere between your hips and shoulders as you do your push-ups. All right, a couple more of these, even though these are some of my least favorites, but strong arms are important. Okay, weight in the heels and lift. I'm just gonna do 5, because that makes me feel strong right there. And then I'm gonna go back to the push-ups. Make sure you keep the ribs locked down and no change in the spine. And you can go really slow down and then push back up, working on that eccentric movement. All right, shake that out a little bit. Now we've got a band that is tied into a circle. And we're gonna put that around the front part of our feet. And I'm gonna go for my pole again. And then we're gonna really feel that stability in the left hip and in the core. And we're just gonna do some gentle marches. Really thinking about, not tucking the hips as you come up. This is purely a core hip flexor motion. So you want to keep that low back curve in place. Okay, let's go to the other leg. Okay, let's do a few more on the other side. Real sturdy on that right hip as you're lifting the left. Okay, similar idea, but we're going to use a block here. Again, I'm going to use this for my stability. Okay, reach over the block. Keeping everything real still. Teaching our spine to be still and let the leg do what it will. So you can use your extremities and have your core be real still. Okay, left side, lift and circle around that block. Other way. Okay, all right, now we're going to do throw in a couple bridges, go down on the mat, knees up. Okay, so we will curl the tip of the tailbone up and then lift as much of the spine up off the mat as you can and hold for a breath and then round it back down. And then we'll do the same thing. Lift Squeeze a little at the top. And back down. Let's do one more. And back down. All right, we're gonna come back up to standing. You can rack it up with me or get up in any way that feels good. And then we're gonna try something that's a little more challenging for the beginner, which is not a jump up, but a jump down. Jump ups might be too much for a lot of people. When I first started jumping again, it was really scary. And when trying to teach others, it's kind of a scary thing to do. So the easiest way to start is to start jumping down. So the first couple things I want you to think about are the landing. And the landing is basically coming down on the toes, then the heels, then into a squat. And letting the arms come up to kind of counterbalance that. And the easiest way to start when you're jumping off something, if you're not used to doing it, is to kind of come down with one leg first. Okay, and then we'll step back up. And then let's come down with the other leg. And then quickly bring the other leg behind it. So let's go back to the right leg. Think about touching the top of the foot down, the heel comes down, and the other foot joins it. Now, if that seems super easy, then you can try both feet jumping off at the same time. Land on the balls of the feet, the heels come down, and then slowly, you're teaching your body to fall slowly. Go down as low as you want in your landing. And think about the arms coming up to counterbalance that. Something else that's kind of helpful is thinking about making your landing as soft as possible, like a ninja landing. If that all still feels like too much, then get rid of the block and just a little hop in place. Okay, let's get back to the band. I'm going to use this band. And I'm going to stand on the band with the left leg. I'm going to bring my right foot back. I'm going to put my right hand on my hip. Whoops, sorry, I meant to do that the other way. Left hand on my hip, and my right hand's going to row back. So, right foot back, right hand rows. And I'm keeping my elbow in really close, and I'm keeping my core really strong. In the jumps that we just did, the core also needs to be really turned on as you hit your landing to protect the spine. Maybe I should have said that before we did the jumps, but we're going to do a few more. So, okay, let's switch to the other hand. Okay, right foot forward, left hand rows, stable core. Okay, as we move back into a few jumps, think about that core being on. Okay, as you get better at that, move up to a block, move up to a step stool, and then you can move up to even higher things. So jumping up and jumping down, okay? Left foot forward, right hand rows. I'll just do a few. Okay, other side. Keep that grazing your rib cage as you go forward. Okay, all right, let's go down onto the mat. We're gonna do just a couple more bridges. Okay, lift and squeeze. 2 more. Lift and squeeze. And lift and squeeze. And then we'll hug the knees in. Rock side to side a little bit. Maybe open the knees, rock side to side a little bit. All right, let's sit up and we'll lengthen the legs out. Sit up nice and tall, reaching forward wherever your hands can go, sliding down the legs, stretching the hips. Let's cross one leg over, stretch. These are just little short stretches. Definitely suggest that you dedicate a little more time to stretching. Let's leave the left leg extended. We'll bend the right knee in, hug it, and then maybe even cross it over. Dedicate at least a couple days a week to stretching, especially if you tend to be on the tighter side. All right, let's bend the left knee in, hug it in, sit up tall, cross it over, hug it in, and then a little rotation. Okay, let's come back up to standing. We'll get a little bit of hip flexor stretching in, press the heel down, and then lean into that so you feel that nice stretch here. And then the other side. Definitely tighter on this side. Okay, and then we'll finish up with some shoulder rotations. All right, I'm gonna do one of these too, just because they feel so good. All right, I hope that was helpful to you and that you're learning a lot about how to keep your body safe as you ease into a little more movement. Thank you.